Next, we have Maor Sason and Harri Manninen, who are going to have a fireside chat about the state of DTC in mobile games.
Well, great to see everybody. Thanks for joining us for this fireside chat. And look, we have the cozy winter fireplace. I'm from Helsinki, so this feels like home to me with the fireplace. How about you, Maor? From warmer climates?
Yes, but it feels like home here. Always good to be back in London town to see all these beautiful faces talking about direct-to-consumer, anti-monopolistic.
I'll give you one of these.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we only have 20 minutes, so we won't do long intros. Co-founder of Play Ventures, CEO of Appcharge. We were very lucky to be an early investor in Appcharge. We invested in 2022.
First believers.
Thank you for letting us invest.
Thank you for investing. We couldn't have never make it without you guys, really. Play Ventures.
Thank you, sir. However, it is the founders who do the work, and we're just here as supporters. One of the things that I want to highlight is the incredible report that you guys just launched, where you said you've processed more than 700 million worth of D2C transactions. When we invested, you had processed $0 of transactions. And it's clear from the ladies' excellent panel that they were just here talking that it's not an experimental thing anymore. It is something you should have within your core strategy as a mobile publisher. I wonder, like, tell me about when you guys started. How has the momentum changed when you talk to your customers, you talk to all these publishers, developers, on how they approach D2C?
So it's really interesting if you look like in hindsight how the conversations really changed. Like back then when we raised money, there were not a lot of believers. You know, you were one of the very few who could have foreseen it. There was this fog, but like around Apple and Google, like how are they going to react? Nobody wanted to take the risk because imagine your whole revenue is depending on these platforms. By the way, they are doing a good job. They're still the distribution. They are totally overcharging. They know it, but they're still the platform for you to download and to get to know all these wonderful games. So most of the game developers, maybe half justly, were a bit afraid of how they're going to react, how aggressive they're going to be. I think now, thanks to Tim Sweeney and the folks in Epic Games that kind of opened the trial, and the European Union that pushed it really hard, and then afterwards Judge Gonzalez Rodriguez, which kind of opened the gate in April. It might get reversed. We're going to discuss about it later. It's a strategic pillar for everyone because the regulator has his eyes on Apple and Google. The danger to get canceled or to get blocked by the platforms is not as high as it used to be, and it's more visible of what you can do and what you cannot do. Where are the lines? And it's going to be more visible this year. It's going to be regulated. It's going to be out there in terms of policy. So I think now that the uncertainty level is not as high. Developers are capable of planning, and that's what's happening. It's a strategic pillar of the roadmap of every year. Like every smart developer now is planning ahead. It's just like a UI strategy. You have a D2C strategy. You have people who are just accounted in the organization for D2C, and that's the major difference. And it's being built to the numbers, to the EBITDA, to the cohorts of the game. So that's the major shift.
I think a core thing there that you say is a strategic thing now. And you know, D2C, when we started talking about it, and sometimes still, there's a lot of talk, oh, it's just to avoid Apple tax or Google tax, and it's just about payments. But I think it's so much more than that, right? I remember like one of the things that always bothered me on the whole mobile ecosystem is like the lack of true interaction between the developer, publisher, and the player base. And that feeling of community and building so much more than just a transactional layer between. Can you talk a little bit about that? Are you seeing that? I know you're building that inside of Appcharge as a suite of products, but tell me like what does the modern D2C stack look like in addition to just the payment piece?
That's a good point. So as a game developer, you always have the next, not one thing, like 10 things ahead of the roadmap. So community and interacting directly with the consumers, it's not something that common, especially if you're not well established. So our North Star were Playtika of building this community. And I think they were a great example of how it could be conducted. Now that there is a big incentive, that is a monetary incentive to interact directly with the consumers and building these interactions and to interact with the community and automate these communications, clearly it's like genre dependent, but it's worthwhile for all genres now. It's being done differently, and we can talk about strategies a bit later on. But a big part of our offering is the distribution, how you get to your players, how you communicate it to them, what's the right time, how you entangle the strategy for your web store and the in-game, and how it's going to be collaborative, and how the user will be constantly informed about what's happening out there. So it's not a one-time thing. Even if a user did his first-time deposit, it doesn't mean he's going to get back. How do you constantly remind him? Like, what's good for him? Like to bypass the mediator for. Because Apple and Google is still like the superior funnel. It needs to be beyond just a transactional level. It needs to feel like he's a part of a closed circle of a VIP. Spending users, they want to feel important, and they want to feel there are other users that are a part of it.
So it's funny you highlighted Playtika, and I see some Playtika leaders in the audience as well. I have to say. Playtika's, they disclosed their D2C revenue quite early in their quarterly reports. And I have to say that was one of the things that started to attract us to the opportunity with you guys. Because you could see like every single quarter that Playtika released that quarter report, the amount of D2C transactions just kept on going up. And as a sort of a context point there, we've seen like other companies in the social casino space and even the casual space, but let's call it social casino space, like Huge saying they are doing like 30% of their revenue on D2C. We had what Julia was saying, they're doing 40%. So this is like incredible amount already. And I think we're just getting started. But then we see also categories where I think you start to see it plateauing a little bit earlier. What would be sort of your advice to some of the developers here who are struggling maybe to scale that, or are thinking about what should be my strategy in increasing that share?
So I think that first and foremost, this is like basically our strategy and my strategy for everything in life. Like, look at what you do, who's doing something similar and is doing it best. Like, if you're a casual game, if you're social casino, if you're hardcore, who is doing D2C best, and why is he successful and why am I not? And I think that's the most important. So get to know and talk to your peers, be kind, and ask. You'll get help. Like everybody wants to share their success. I think that's first and foremost. And then the strategy is very much genre dependent. So where you have high-paying users, you're more focused on the personalized human touch experience, where it's casual and you have thousands or tens or hundreds of thousands of high-paying users relatively to the genre, you need to build more automated tools that are personalized. And now more than ever with AI, it's doable. You can do it, you can build it, you need to plan ahead. Talking
about AI, obviously, in our venture ecosystem, AI is basically taking up oxygen from everything else. how are you guys approaching sort of AI opportunity? I know you have probably internal stuff you can't really talk about, but is that something that that is a key part of what your ongoing discussions with your clients as well? Is like, how do you utilize AI for whatever, for live ops, from VIP management to things like this? Is that something you're actively sort of engaging with your customers with?
100%. So first and foremost, our incredible team has been adopting like AI for the past couple of years for internal usage. The most obvious ones are like coding and art and graphics. But on top of it, we haven't launched it yet, but we are working on a couple of solutions to automate exactly these like mass distribution methods to talk to players that were not worthwhile to click with a live persona, but you would like an AI agent to interact with, because they're still spenders, but they just never cross the threshold of a person to talk to them and to dedicate his time. So these are the kind of areas we're looking at. In terms of live ops and revenue operations, to get a better analysis, it's something that we're going to look into it. Also this year, we're going to release I think in the end of Q2, we're going to release a few features that are very coherent with like examining and having conclusions in real time and to act upon them. And it's not necessarily going to automate the whole funnel at the beginning, but you'll have call to actions and you'll be able to manage your revenue better.
Sounds like exciting times. I want to go back to the pretty awesome report that your team put together. Like what a amount of data. I was looking at Ruben's post on LinkedIn, and it just said that what a project that was of putting all that data together and extracting the insights. Was there anything particular from that? Obviously, you've seen it up close with the customers, but from like what should the audience take away from that report now that they're all going to go read it after our little chat here?
I think the velocity of success of certain developers who did an incredible job. It's not credit to Appcharge. Like our best case studies were the ones that the team took the project seriously. We had like man hours dedicated to work with us, and they were agile enough to be innovative. And it is innovation on a high degree, because not many have done it before. So it's not that you have a playbook out there on Google that you can just, okay, this is how it's be done, have the manual, and that's it. You need to explore, and every game is different, and every genre is different, and every team in your organization is different. So I think how fast certain developers were successful, I think that's pretty incredible. And I think also how it affected their strategy in terms of, for example, UA. You can also find out from they what's the word for it? Like cut it from the numbers. Anyway, I think that's the most important piece. And also how certain features had like massive effect on the D2C as a whole. Also something that I'd love you guys to look at.
So obviously you guys are just getting started. As you think about this year and the years to come, how is Appcharge a part of like that educational process? Are you guys thinking about just what you said about unearthing these insights? Like, is that something you guys want to do at scale? I don't know if it ranges from webinars to running even your own conferences one day or what. So how are you thinking about the educational piece? Because in the ladies panel that just was before us, there's a lot of talk about like you also need that educational component for people, for all the developers to understand that this is a paradigm shift, and if you want to be competitive in today's mobile global market, this is a strategy that and tactically even this is something you have to master.
100%. So I think we're already in this approach. We have a lot of on the table, so we're not publishing everything, but we see ourselves as like an open source for direct to consumer. everybody was giving us a call. We're just, hey, we can share everything. But the leaders who understand that they want the bits and bytes and the details of how it's happening, and the platform and the technology that are collaborating with it, we're taking it to the next step, and we're doing like personal sessions. And obviously the solution needs to be personalized. So that's more exclusive to our client, but the playbooks, we're very open about it. You can just go to our website, and we're sharing and we're speaking about it just like now in every opportunity, because we believe that it's crucial for the industry as a whole.
You spoke about, I mean, it's still an evolving landscape, also from a sort of legal and regulatory perspective, and there's a lot of moving parts. But you said it's important to set the foundations right at that level. Details may change, terms may change, but there's no going. I mean, the Pandora's box has been opened. It's not going to be closed anymore. And so, what do you think are some of the key sort of foundational things that developers should look for, instead of like, of course they have to be in constant, know how regulatory things change, but do you feel like the foundational mindset is the starting point?
I do. So the regulation is important. You need to be fluent. Like D2C, just like I said, it needs to be like every sector in your planning. You need to plan ahead, and you need to be well informed, and you better have people that this is their job. Because imagine how much money is it in big scale. So regulation, have your in-house or outsourced lawyers to be informed. But in terms of how you build the foundations, you just need to plan like everything. Are you going to have enough employees dedicated to it? Are you going to have the platform built with enough flexibility to incorporate it easily to your stack? Are you taking under account the uplift in the cohorts in your user acquisition strategy? You have to, otherwise you're going to lose a lot, and your competitors will, and they're going to outbid you in the market. So I think all of these, it's not like a one-trick pony. All of these together are going to make the difference, and the planning is first and foremost, and execution, every company with its own, but I think it's crucial to have people dedicated just to it.
Have you seen that with your customers, having like dedicated teams, DTC dedicated teams yet, or is that sort of something that's coming up?
I think in the beginning, no, but then after that they have materialized the uplift, we have started to see a shift in product people and monetization people having allocated hours, days, and then later on like personas in the organization just for D2C.
Personal question. I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
Yeah.
We've gone from when we invested, you guys were a small team just in Tel Aviv, to now being more and more global.
130.
100, oh, congrats. So, how, as a CEO, and this is for all of the founder CEOs, how has your sort of mindset changed from being a part of such a small team in Tel Aviv, trying to figure out like how do we do this, to now scaling with a global team?
That's every day is a journey. I think Roy, my co-founder, and I are tackling new challenges every day. It's just you need, like we're approaching it like students. We're here to learn. We're trying to get to know the best people to work with in the industry, and we're just coming humble to every situation. So. We haven't won yet. We want to improve. We want to evolve, and we're flexible enough. And we know to say when we're out. We've done a mistake, or we know how to scrap a project when it's not successful. So I think just stay humble, work hard, and that's the secret.
The day you stop learning is the day you stop developing as a person, right?
Exactly.
Great, Maor. It's going to be an exciting 2026. How are you feeling about the year ahead?
I think it's going to be a super 2026. There are going to be a lot of changes. We're happy, we're excited, and I wish you all guys a lot of luck in all your future endeavors.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.